This is a disclaimer after disclaimer that please, just because you have read the title and clicked on this thumbnail, doesn't mean I'm endorsing the substance abuse. Stoner films are a genre, just like action, thriller, romance, erotica, mystery, coming of age, etc. Actually, it's end of my thinking capacity. So, with a strict note that cannabis is not only harmful for one's body but also illegal. So, refrain from it, please. And let's begin. What the hell is a stoner movie? Let's be honest, stoner movies aren't a genre, they are an experience. They transport you into a world where logic loosens up, colors feel alive, and soundtracks seem like they were created just for you in that exact moment. A good stoner movie is the closest thing to a lucid dream you will ever experience while still being awake. It doesn't just entertain, but pulls you in. Your senses of time stretches, your emotions go on a roller coaster, and every little absurdity feels like a divine genius. When you're high, your brain is in a state of a heightened sensory perception. Colors pop louder, sounds feel sharper, and even the most mundane shit feels like revelation. Stoner movies tap into this psychology. They are designed to fuck with your senses, to make you laugh at the absurd and leave you questioning whether what you just watched was genius or pure madness. Spoilers, it's both. Think of it as a cinematic bong hit. Each scene is a puff, and by the end, you are floating in a cloud of what the fuckness. And sure, Hollywood has its fair share of classics like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Pineapple Express, How High, but if you really want to enter a new realm of madness, you have to explore Indian cinema. From mind-bending thrillers to comic book superhero films, from spoofs that break the fourth wall to zombie action comedies, Indian stoner films hit different. They aren't just made to be watched, they are made to be felt. Hello, this is Aryan, and in this video essay we are going deep. We are exploring some of the most insane, trippy, and utterly mind-warping Indian films that you absolutely must watch when you're high. From Bollywood to Tollywood to Collywood, we have got it all. So sit back, relax, and stay till the end, because trust me, you don't want to miss a single frame of this list. Chapter 1, Ritesh Rana Supremacy. Mathu Vadlara, 2019, Telugu, Prime Video. Imagine a regular day, a dude working a job as a delivery partner, nothing extraordinary, right? Now imagine that same dude getting dragged into a labyrinth of mystery, betrayal, murder, and tension. So gripping that you can't look away. But here's the kicker. It's also one of the funniest movies you will ever watch. That's what Mathu Vadlara does. It's a stoner thriller in the truest sense. It feels like Tarantino directing a Telugu soap opera after snorting a line of mirchi powder. अबे कौन लिखता है स्क्रिप्ट मेरा? हम ही लिखते हैं. The cinematography feels trippy. The background score heightens the paranoia. And the soap opera playing in the background. That's not just for laughs. It's a god-level satire of Ekta Kapoor's entire career. If you have ever walked into your mom watching Saath Nibhana Saathiya or Ye Rishta Kya Kehlata Hai and felt your brain melting, this movie weaponizes that exact same feeling. And the best part, it's unpredictable as hell. You think you know where it's going, but then it swerves into a completely new direction. Happy Birthday 2022, Telugu, Netflix. If Mathu Vadlara was an appetizer, Happy Birthday is the full course, blunt jointed psychedelic buffet. This is Ritesh Rana on full crackhead energy. The entire movie feels like an interactive theme park ride where reality bends, logic doesn't exist. He doesn't just steal the soap, he owns it, burns it down, and builds a theme park on the top of it. And here's what makes Happy Birthday even crazier. It expands the soap opera universe from Mathu Vadlara into a full-fledged absurdist world where laws are rewritten overnight. The premise, guns are legalized and chaos erupts. Imagine a world where every idiot around you can buy a gun as easily as a pack of chips. Now think of your best friend buying a gun. Nah. Now imagine this idea being milked for every ounce of comedy, insanity, and sheer visual spectacle possible. If you ever wanted to watch a cartoonist fever dream that also low-key roasts capitalism, Happy Birthday is your golden ticket. Mathu Vadlara 2, 2024, Telugu, Netflix. Sequels are tricky. Most of them fall into the let's milk this franchise till it dies trap. Hangover 2, you know now about which movie I'm talking about? Huh? But somehow, Ritesh Rana dodges the bullet and delivers another masterpiece. It's a direct continuation of Mathu Vadlara. But this time, the madness amplifies. The satire is sharper. The absurdity goes even higher. The soap opera world doesn't just exist in background anymore. It becomes an integral part of the plot. And once again, Vanilla Kishore is in God mode. If you have seen the first two movies, you owe it to yourself to complete the trilogy. This is a rare case where each film's built upon the last in the most unpredictable way possible. Chapter 2, Comic Style Superhero Madness. Maveeran, 2023, Tamil, Prime Videos. Let me start by saying Maviran isn't just a movie. This thing feels like a comic book that came to life. And not just any comic book. Imagine if a classic superhero origin story, a sharp political satire, and a mind-bending visual spectacle all fused into one. That's Maviran. The premise? Absolute gold. A struggling cartoonist suddenly realizes that everything he draws starts happening in real life, and boom, before he even realizes it, the coward becomes the hero of his own comic. Now let's talk about the elements that makes this movie a god tier trip. The character build-up. This is not your usual guy randomly gets power and fights bad guy story. Siva Karthikeyan character arc is so well structured that you genuinely feel for him. You see his growth, his struggles, and his transformation into an unlikely hero. And Vijay Sethupathe's voice, let me tell you, it's like a warm cup of chai on a rainy day. But in an existential, godlike narrator kind of way. The comic book aesthetic, the cinematography, and visual storytelling here are borderline hypnotic. The transitions between the real world and the comic world, seamless. The use of vibrant colors, mesmerizing. If you are even remotely a fan of graphic novels or animated storytelling, this will hit so damn hard that you won't even feel the runtime. The humor and satirical comedy. This isn't just an action-packed superhero flick. It's a social satire disguised as a comic book film. There's a scene where a politician played by Miskin casually discusses corruption like he's ordering breakfast, and it's so brutally honest that you don't know whether to laugh or cry. This movie is a blissful watch if you love comic books, superhero origin stories, and satirical comedy. If you're high, let's just say you'll start seeing speech bubbles and motion lines in your own life after this one. Saripotha Sanivaram 2024 Telugu Netflix. Now if Maviran is like reading a comic book, then Saripotha Sanivaram is like falling headfirst into one and getting your mind blown apart. Let's be real, no one on this planet does eccentric, unhinged, batshit crazy roles like S.J. Surya. And in Saripotha Sanivaram, he raises the fucking bar to god level insanity. What makes this movie a stoner's dream? The comic book come to life experience. Much like Maviran, this movie also has that vibrant, surreal, animated energy. But unlike Maviran, which plays out like a graphic novel, this feels like a high-intensity, fast-paced manga panel exploding on screen. S.J. Surya's performance, a literal trance-inducing force. The way he moves, talks and reacts feels otherworldly. You cannot predict a single thing he is about to do next. And the thing about watching a movie while high, unpredictability makes it 100 times more immersive. The cinematography and color grading. See, if someone tells me that they don't do anything but still manage to trip while watching this, I would believe them instantly. The vivid blues, deep reds, and neon-soaked night scenes make you feel like you're floating in a dreamscape. In the end, Saripotha Sanivaram isn't just a movie. It's a wild, mind-bending sensory overload. You don't just watch it, you experience it. Why these two movies are a must-watch for stoners? Both Maviran and Saripotha Sanivaram do something very few superhero movies manage to do. They bring comics to life in a way that feels organic, immersive, and trippy as hell. They are visual feast, rich with humor, satire, and absolutely mind-melting moments. But I sincerely request, please watch these in their original language. There are some of those films where the voice, dialect, and delivery matter so much that watching a dubbed version is a crime. These movies don't particularly showcase substance use, but if you are high, they will transport you to another fucking dimension. Chapter 3, Spoof Madness, a genre that YouTubers will never understand. Alright, let's get one thing straight. Spoof movies are an art form. They aren't just about random slapstick jokes or making fun of other films. A great spoof is self-aware, sharp, and loaded with satirical genius. Think Scary Movie in Hollywood or the superhero movie. Films that parodied their respective genres while secretly being great movies in their own right. And yet in India, our so-called YouTubers don't have the common sense to understand what a spoof even is. They will watch Hriday Kalyam or Sudigadu and go, South Indian movies are all like this. So unrealistic. Hero stops a bullet with his teeth. Bro, it's a spoof. That's the point. Most of these guys have probably never even heard of the term parody cinema. Instead, they group every South Indian film into one oversimplified stereotype just to fuel their superiority complex. And that's where these two gems got absolutely robbed of their credit. Let's fix that today. Hriday Kalyam 2014 Telugu Hotstar, the OG meme movie of India. Before the whole pan-India wave took over, before South Indian films started getting the mainstream respect they deserve, YouTubers used to roast the hell out of this film, not realizing that they were literally being played by its creators. Why this movie is absolute genius? It's a spoof, not a serious action film. First thing first, Ridya Kalyam was never meant to be taken seriously. But somehow, people watched it and went, "Look at this ridiculous CGI, South Indian movies are all the same." Bro, imagine watching Deadpool and saying, "Why does he keep breaking the fourth wall? So unrealistic." Every scene is over the top on purpose. There's a scene where the hero gets his heart stolen and continues to live. A slow motion fight where physics just packs rucksack and leaves. Lines of dialogue that sound like someone dropped LSD before writing the script. And yet, this movie works. It's so absurd that it loops back into genius. YouTubers clowned it without doing their homework. Back in the 2010s, Indian YouTube was filled with South Indian movie roast videos, where this film was treated as if it was some serious action blockbuster. Except, it wasn't. The joke was always on the people who didn't get the joke. Sudigadu, 2012, Telugu, Z5, and in YouTube, Hindi dub as Hero Number 0. If you have ever watched South Indian action films, you know they have some of the most gloriously over-the-top fight scenes. Heroes punch people into the air, bullets curve mid-flight, and villains explode upon impact. Now imagine taking every single one of those tropes and cranking them up to 1000% for comedy. That's Sudigadu. Why this movie is next level spoof cinema? It's a South Indian cinema roast by South Indian themselves. Every mass movie cliche destroyed. The over-dramatic villain monologues ripped apart. The logic-defying action sequences turned into comedy gold. If Ridya Kalyam was a parody of ridiculous filmmaking, Sudigadu was a direct parody of entire South Indian masala film industry. And this is the only movie in the entire list I watched in its Hindi dub. And oh boy, the sheer madness is translated very well. The most iconic scenes, the bullet scene. The hero catches a bullet in mid-air, chews it like bubblegum, and spits it back to the main villain. The bulldozer scene. Instead of a high-speed chase, the villain dramatically drives a bulldozer to attack the hero. Inky Pinky Ponky, father had a donkey. If you know, you know. If you don't, just YouTube it, thank me later. It was based on another legendary spoof, Tamil Padam, a Tamil movie. But Sudigadu amplifies the absurdity to 1000%. How YouTubers got it wrong again? Just like Ridya Kalyam, Sudigadu was also targeted by lazy YouTube roasts who just didn't understand what they were watching. Instead of appreciating how this movie brilliantly deconstructs South Indian film tropes, they just went, साउथ इंडियन मूवीज को देख के इफ न्यूटन जिंदा होता तो खुद एप्पल्स खा के सुसाइड कर लेता. No dude, that's the joke. You need to understand. You need to evolve. And you need to have brain. Chapter 4, Hindi Greats. The Bollywood madness that deserves your high attention. Bollywood doesn't do stoner movies in the traditional Hollywood sense. We don't have dudes sitting in their living rooms getting high and going on weird adventures. Instead, what we do is crank cinema up to such an absurd level that it bypasses logic and enters the realm of pure psychedelic storytelling. If you're looking for the absolute best Hindi language films to watch while high, welcome to the madness zone. Bahut Hua Samman 2020, Hotstar, the ultimate BHU parody. Listen, this movie isn't just a satire. This is a goddamn love letter to Banarsi Bakaiti. For those who don't know, Bakaiti is that special brand of Banaras style bullshitting that is equal part genius, stupidity and revolutionary energy. And this film, it captures all of it. Why this movie feels personal as hell? I spent half a decade in BHU. Not just as a graduation and PG student, but as a witness to the sheer chaotic beauty of that place. Bahut Hua Samman doesn't just parody BHU, the university. It parodies entire BHU experience. It knows the culture, the students, the bakchodi, the hostel policies. It's all here. The laid back yet chaotic brilliant students. BHU students have a superpower, the ability to sit at Lanka, sip chai and debate anything from communism to whether Hera-Pheri is a metaphor for Indian economics for 6 straight hours. They don't attend classes, but they can rewrite the constitution over a plate of samosa chaat. Minor inconvenience into a grand conspiracy. Every hostel has that one guy who starts a revolution over something as small as fan not working, or if he doesn't like the warden's face. The way 2 dimwit engineering failures come up with a bank robbery plan, that's just any BHU hostel group chat at 2 AM. The sheer art of political bakshodi. Half the guys talking about revolution don't even know what they are fighting for. But that doesn't stop anyone from protesting, right? Sanjay Misra equals to every wise old Banarsi uncle ever. Still remember the title of the book. Manavta ki maa chugne wali hai. If you have ever been to Banaras, you have met this fucking exact man. The one who sits outside a tea stall, smokes a beedi, and drops random philosophical bombs that sounds like nonsense but are actually profound as hell. His character isn't just a mentor. He is the Baba of Bakati. Why this movie is a stoner's dream. It doesn't just make fun of BHU. It makes fun of everything. It starts as a college heist movie, then randomly turns into a political thriller. The characters talk in the most poetic bullshit ever, which, when you're high, feels like the divine wisdom. This isn't just a movie. This is a nostalgia trip for anyone who has ever studied in BHU or have been into the Banaras. And that's why it's personal. Really personal. Go Goa Gone 2013. Z5, Hotstar, Apple TV Plus, Prime, YouTube, it's everywhere. India's first stoner zombie film. When this film dropped in 2013, nobody knew what the fuck they were watching. Bollywood making a zombie movie with stoners and a fake Russian mafia guy. This movie shouldn't have worked, but it did. And it became an instant cult classic. What makes this movie a perfect high watch? Kunal Khemu, Veer Das and Anand Tiwari as three useless idiots. These guys are exactly like your friends who think they would survive a zombie apocalypse but would actually die in the first 10 minutes only. Their reaction to zombies are so real that it feels like watching a YouTube vlog instead of a movie. Saif Ali Khan as Boris, the fake Russian mafia lord. His entire character is a one big inside joke. His accent changes mid-sentence. His entire solution to the zombie apocalypse? Vodka, guns and more vodka. With the dialogue, I kill dead people. Okay. The visuals and creepy sequences. The way the zombie outbreak unfolds feels like a drug trip gone wrong. At one point, the characters literally start questioning if this is real or just the drugs kicking in. And literally, we were asking the same questions. If you ever wondered what a stoner Bollywood version of Zombieland would look like, this is it. Badass Ravi Kumar, Badass Ravi Kumar, Badass Ravi Kumar. 2025, Hindi, awaited on OTT. Alright. Strap the fuck in. This is not a movie. This is a 2-hour long nuclear explosion of testosterone, whiskey and misplaced confidence. This is a Bollywood in its most chaotic, unhinged, reality-defying form. You don't watch Badass Ravi Kumar. You survive it. It's a film so over the top that gravity resigns, physics files a human right complaint, and logic quietly packs its bags and leaves the country. If Gunda had a baby with Singham and that baby was raised on a strict diet of Sunny Deol's one-liners, Rajnikant's physics and Balakrishna's overconfidence, you would get Badass Ravi Kumar, Badass Ravi Kumar, Badass Ravi Kumar. You would get this Ravi Kumar. The plot is so insane that it becomes irrelevant. What's the story? Who cares? But fine. Let's pretend you came for a plot. There's a golden reel with India's top secrets. Interpol, Delhi police and international criminals all want it. The main villain, Carlos Pedro Panther, is a dancing gangster with a PhD in villainy and salsa. The only man who can stop him? Ravi Kumar, Badass Ravi Kumar. A disgraced, whiskey-chugging, one-liner spitting, physics-defying ex-cop who was suspended for being too badass. Badass Ravi Kumar. The dance battle before the climax. It's Ravi Kumar versus Carlos. Because why the fuck not? Before their final fight, Carlos demands that Ravi proves himself worthy. But how? Through dance. Let's dance. And then what follows is Bollywood's most unhinged fight scene ever. This isn't a story. This is a religious experience. Conclusion. The final psychedelic thought. At the end of the day, stoner movies aren't just about trippy visuals. They are about pure, unfiltered, cinematic madness. You want a thriller that will melt your brain? Mathu Vadlara. You want a superhero comic book come to life? Maaveeran and Saripodha Sanivaram. You want absurd spoof that dumb YouTubers don't understand? Hriday Kalyam and Sudigadu. You want sheer Bollywood chaos? Bahut Hua Samman, Go Goa Gone and Badass Ravi Kumar. And if I offended anyone, मेरी तरफ से एक प्यारा सा sorry भाई. But honestly, watch these movies and you will see exactly why they belong on this list. Now go, let your brain melt in the best way possible. Ending note, you can experience this while being sober also.